I was part of a demonic cult. Then I became a reborn Christian and ended up going to Biola University to become a pastor. Took a year of theology and ministry classes, pastoral preaching. I was brought up with Eastern philosophy, Buddha, Eastern philosophy, more democratic family, some atheistic family. And now I have, family and friends on both sides of the aisle. Extremely conservative, Republican, conventional Christian, family and friends. And I have a hardcore Democratic family, right? And friends as well. I've actually done a good amount of work in politics, funny enough, that has given me a different perspective, right? Just like the more I got into spirituality and religion, that allowed me to get a different perspective, right? Life is truly happening for you, not to you, right? Because through your life experiences will shape your belief system, your patterns, your identity, and your perception of reality, right? Because you don't experience life, you experience the life you focus on, and that's going to be based off your belief systems, your patterns, your identity, who you believe you are, right? And the lesson I want to bring to you guys today, as I'm out here in Palm Springs, California, Andreas Desert, is to expand your identity of who you believe you are. One of the powerful things of the Christian faith, but there's many examples of this, they use it in politics as well, is I am, right? I am a Democrat. I am a Republican. I am a Christian. I am Islamic, Muslim, right? The I am, because then it becomes an identity. See, that's a lot stronger than trying, or I'm trying Christianity out. I'm trying being a Democrat out. I'm trying this. I'm trying that out. Because it implies that it's outside of yourself. Therefore, versus you become it, you identify with it. That will dramatically collapse time and change your life. But you could take this with anything. You could take it with a lot of your romance, your romantic life. You can take it with your family and friends. You could take it with adventure and fun. You could take it with finances and career and business. You could take it with health and fitness. If you say, I am a fat ass, I am fat, I am lazy, I am undisciplined, be very careful, right? It talks about in the Bible, life and death is the power of the tongue, right? Be very careful of the words that you speak over yourself. Spelling, right? You're going to put yourself under a spell, right? And the way that you use language to explain the world and how you identify yourself and how you view the world is dramatically going to change your experience of it, right? That's the beauty of poetry and movies and music, and they describe the world and they change your perception of the world, and they add so much value to making life sweeter, but also can make it salty, right? So be very careful of the language that you speak over yourself, specifically when it comes to identity, right? I am a disciplined person. I am rich. I am wealthy versus I am poor. I am, whatever disempowering statements that you never really want to speak over yourself. You wouldn't even want to speak that over your enemy, right? Same thing with your health, same thing with your fitness, same thing with your career or anything. How do you view yourself? Right? There's a great book on this called Cybernetics. Cybernetics talks about the power of the self-image, right? How you view yourself will dramatically change how you show up to your fitness and health. How do you show up to romance and dating? How do you show up to your family and friends? How do you show up to fun and travel adventure? How do you show up to your finances, your business, your career? You name it, your identity, your self-image, how you view yourself is dramatically going to impact everything else, right? There's nothing that your identity will not show up in. So if you change the way you view yourself, you will change your life, right? So a practical way to actually implement this, I'll give you a story. Like, my life dramatically changed for multiple reasons, right? But we're going to talk about on this premise of your identity dramatically changed from when I was a part of the demonic polygamy cult, viewing myself as a warrior fighting monk, to when I became a reborn Christian and follower of Christ, to even when I went to Biola University to become a pastoral preacher in LA, right? These identity shifts dramatically changed how I view myself, how I view the world, and therefore how I interacted with the world, and therefore changed my results and experience of life. Man, look how this is so beautiful. God is good. Look at this. We're in Palm Springs. This is Andreas Canyons in Palm Springs, California. So that's a practical example, but it could be done with any area of life, with your finances, with your career, right? Viewing yourself as I'm somebody who just works a job versus I am an entrepreneur. I am a business owner, right? And those I am statements and beginning to identify yourself. And the powerful thing to collapse time is not just visualizing, meditating, praying, journaling, affirmations, incantations, and using your body with the affirmations. Incantations is really feeling it in your soul and your spirit while you actually are affirming it. I am a boss. I am an entrepreneur. I am wealthy. I am rich. I am fit. I am strong. I am energy. I am passion. I am excitement. I am love. Right? I am a romantic lover. I am a phenomenal lover. I am Romeo, a masculine leadership and poetic love. I am Alexander the Great of business building and vision. I am a visionary, right? These I am statements, but using your body and using your emotions will actually neurologistic program. It's NLP. It actually rewires your neurons in your brain, and eventually that will definitely change your life. But a practical way for some of you guys, so this doesn't seem to manifest metaphysical, spiritual, foo-foo, personal development bullshit, right? But you actually take practical actions like, okay, what would Indiana Jones of Wild Adventure do? Well, Indiana Jones would go skydiving. Indiana Jones would go on a trip to Palm Springs, to Andreas Falls. Indiana Jones would take that risk. Or what would Elon Musk? What would Donald Trump? What would Jeff Bezos, what would Mark Zuckerberg do in this situation? And you actually take the action. What would Romeo of masculine leadership and poetic love do? What would Alexander the Great of business building and vision do right now? Because that collapses time, not only from the vision and affirmation and incantation, but when you take the massive action, you begin to shift your reality. Because that's why your actions, your behavior, right? Psychology is the study of human behavior, right? You change your identity, you change your belief system, you change your patterns, therefore it changes your behavior, you change the way you act and show up to life, and therefore you will get different results. You change the way you show up to your fitness and health, your body will reflect it. You change the way you show up to business, career, and finances, your finances, career, and business will reflect that. Your relationships, you change the way you show up to your romantic relationships, your results will change because of that. So take the actions of who you are affirming that you are. If you say, I am a businessman, I am a visionary, I am an entrepreneur, take actions as that right now. Right now, when would now be a better time? That's a great question to ask yourself. When would now be a better time? When would now be a better time to take actions in that state, right? So again, change your state, get into the state of an entrepreneur, of a romantic lover, of a passionate lover, of a masculine leader. Get into the state first, affirm that, tell yourself that story, because everything's subjective in that sense. Tell yourself that story, place that meaning, and there from there, take that action, and watch your life change rapidly. All right, guys, that's the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. God bless you, and make this year the best year of your life. Peace out.